On to another green person.
I was like, how are you, what smooth transition are you coming up with here?
She-Hulk episode 5 came out yesterday.
Today.
So at some point,
yeah.
based on when you are watching this.
The previous Thursday.
Yeah. So I'm kind of categorizing it as episodes 1, 2, and 3 were very good,
Mm-hmm.
and they were the baseline. Episode 4 was much better than the first 3, and then
Okay.
episode 5 I think isn't quite as good as episode 4, but it's still better than them first 3 that are setting us up.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's, like I said, better than them first base episodes. I don't think it quite for me hit the levels of episode 4 because I don't think it had quite as much of the comedy.
Yeah, I was gonna say there wasn't as much funny humor moments in this episode.
Yeah, it was missing out on a Madison-esque character who you just kind of point and laugh at.
But at the same time,
the story itself, I think, was a bit stronger.
Yes. I also like how, I think we talked about it last week, the fact that each episode was going to have its own like lawyer problem they're dealing with. And we weren't sure if the Titania thing was going to be a bigger grand issue or if it was just going to be for an episode. And it seems like it was just it seems a bit of both, in my opinion. It seems like she's not done trying to get at She-Hulk, but
I think it's going to be kind of proper classic villain of just, I'm going to find a new way every week to make your life awkward and difficult.
Yeah, I'm going to keep taking you to court for something else, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. This just kind of, I'm going to be a constant thorn in your side and you're going to hate it. Instead of like the more modern version of, oh, big fiasco, you must beat me. Yeah. And then they deal with them and move on to the next one. And it's just kind of, no, I'm just going to be here annoying you constantly.
But I think I enjoyed the whole how she had to prove that she actually does use the name of She-Hulk. I thought it was hilarious that she decided, well, best way to do it is to just chuck my Tinder profile up in court. And
yeah,
I mean, it's as soon as like she was trying to figure it out, you're like, well, just get the guy that left when she wasn't She-Hulk, because he'll happily say that, yeah, she is She-Hulk. I thought it was funny that she had to re-interact with them all. Yeah. And how they perceived the date.
It's doing the episodic feel of a comedy very well, while also nailing that this is one continuous story feel.
Yeah, there's like they're tying little ties in all the time to previous stuff.
Exactly. I really enjoyed it. I thought the court case and everything surrounding that was very interesting. It's furthering that story we've talked about as the overarching story of her becoming more accepting of She-Hulk being a part of her life.
Yeah.
I think, I forget her name, Jamala Jamil, who's playing Titania, was brilliant in this, and we really got to see that kind of over-exaggerated influencer personality.
Yeah.
Which I thought was very funny. I enjoyed how they're starting to, like, you've got Nikki who's like, she's got to dress better, we need to find someone who can do the dressing. And like the Iron Man 3 trainers.
Oh,
I need someone in queue.
As soon as he's like, oh, I've got the Iron Man 3 sneakers are coming out and I need someone in queue to help. Basically, because it's one pair per person. Yeah. Immediately I was like, one, so true to like sneaker culture and what actually is happens in like queuing up for sneakers doesn't happen as often as it used to because a lot of it's done online now. Two, immediately thought of our friend Josh, who's been a guest because he does a lot of reselling.
I was like, scalper scum.
I was like, this is a thing Josh would try and pull off.
100%.
And then 3, I was like, how do I get a pair of Iron Man 3s? Are they robotic trainers? Have they got jets in the bottom of them?
I like to imagine that they are just the shittiest, cheapest, trashiest shoes ever.
Oh, see,
and like during the blip, Tony just like sold off the rights to Iron Man to prove to Pepper that he wasn't going to be Iron Man anymore.
Well,
and they've just been like,
I like to think that they are trainers, like Nike-esque dunks or something that look like the Iron Man suit. It's like boots. And people just think, oh yeah, these are sick.
Yeah, no, like even the way he was talking about it was very true to kind of like sneaker culture, hoodie
Yeah.
culture,
The whole
and
the
the
whole
whole
fake Avengers or Avengers,
yeah
depending on your
fake merch
fancy.
was hilarious.
Yeah,
I
love
also
it.
enjoyed the I need a favor. Well, you know that I'll need a favor back with interest.
Yes.
And it's like we all have a friend like that who's really good at helping with stuff, but when you owe them big time.
I also like though that she 100% made the deal seem like a good thing when she's like, "Well, I'm wavering the interest. I'm having my favor already." And he was
Yeah,
like, "Oh yeah, that's a good point." And she probably didn't
even though
really,
the favor she was asking was a lot fucking bigger.
yeah, and she didn't really care about the interest probably.
Uh, but it's
Um,
just funny. I'm enjoying the interactions.
yes, and obviously we got a tease linking in with this designer that makes superhero
I mean,
clothes.
I'm not the only one who saw this coming, right?
Oh, I had an idea. I well, like as they were linking it up, I was like, we're either gonna get the tease to Daredevil, which we do, they pay out on, or I was like, we're gonna see some like reference to another superhero, or there's gonna be some like slight Easter egg or tie-in that brings this character in, like becoming like a quite an important character in MCU, but no one ever discusses about him or something, or we don't really know anything
Yeah.
about him, or never
You
will.
also had like when the designer was giving her the clothes he made. It's like, oh, I made you this as well. That's obviously like the purple singlet we've seen her in
Mm-hmm.
clips.
Yeah,
That's going to be her superhero costume.
I love the
Um,
idea. I don't know because obviously, I presume this character is just something they've come up with. I can't unless there is
so
a reference to someone similar in the comics, but like, I like the idea of a like high end fashion designer sees the market like whole for, oh, I could be a superhero
So,
designer.
yeah, so as a general rule, I can't. It was probably around the 90s. People did kind of start to ask the question. Okay, so we know Spider-Man makes his suit himself.
Mm-hmm.
We know Batman has all this money.
Mm-hmm.
But what about them heroes who have really complicated suits and superpowers that don't make it themselves but don't have a lot of money? Like where are they get? And people genuinely started like, okay, this is kind of a little bit like silly. There's like these
Mm.
hundreds of heroes. This is definitely like a part of the market that someone would fill.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you see it more in like Invincible and stuff.
Okay.
Um, where there's like the legitimate characters that like in Invincible. Sorry, this is fucking tangent. His dad, when he gets his powers, takes him to his guy, who
Mm.
does own a tailor shop but does superhero stuff on the backside. And he's like,
Yeah.
I came here to get my suit. I'm now bringing my son here who's got powers to get his suit. That kind of vibe.
Well, we
I
saw,
don't know if Marvel does have like an explicitly named character,
yeah,
or if it's just kind of as and when they'll make one up.
because obviously in the Daredevil on Netflix, he went to that guy where Fisk got his suit and he had
Yeah,
him. So we know there's people that will do these like backroom sort of like design things for them. I like the idea though. This guy, the fashion designer, gave me big Edna vibes from,
Edna Mode vibes,
yeah,
100%.
being like, oh, what do you need, sort of thing. Yeah, I thought that was cool. Obviously, yeah, there's the dress that they teased, and then right at the end there was a hat box that had a Daredevil,
Yellow Daredevil towel in it. I'm so excited.
which I think there's a few episodes, a couple. I think it's like a couple episodes back now. We were trying to figure out how She-Hulk and Daredevil were going to cross paths, whether she was going to be in New York or he was going to come to
I
her.
really hope it's something stupid like he gets one of her suits and she goes looking for him.
See, I think he's going to come to LA or whatever to collect his suit, in person, and obviously something's going on, and he meets up with She-Hulk because he's there. He's like, oh, other superhero person should probably make connections.
I also love the little lie about she's
Being
going to be an Avenger.
yeah, such a, well, they're not quite an Avenger, but they're going to be sort of like bright lying your way into the club.
Fake it till you make it, baby.
Yeah,
Fake it till
literally.
you make it.
Well,
I was a little bit upset there was no post credit scene.
yeah, considering there was like There was a rumor in the beginning of this show coming out that it was on every episode, and we've had one every episode.
I'll be honest, just to piss off the really weird Netflix Daredevil fans, I really wanted the post-credit scene to be Charlie Cox picking up his cow and going, "It looks great." Just so all the hardcore Netflix fans who are convinced Daredevil doesn't know how to be funny start losing their mind. But it also would have been a very toxic week on the internet, so it wouldn't have been worth it.
I think overall, though, I was ashamed there was no post-credit scene, but hopefully that comes back next week.
Yeah. Also, there are lots of rumors that the sexual tension between Jen/She-Hulk and Daredevil is going to be insane, and I'm so here for it.
Oh, that'll be great. Oh, there was also like her making friends with that other lawyer.
Yeah, there has to be a lot of sexual tension between them because Daredevil is a man whore in the comics, an absolute man whore.
Well, he's got
he is like the worst Catholic boy ever.
Well, we know that. It's not hard to believe.
And like the idea that Jen is trying to find people she can relate to today, and then this guy comes in who's a lawyer, who's good looking, has superpowers, so understands everything. The idea that Jen's just gonna be like, yes,
and he can take a beating.
Yeah, like come on, he ain't gonna be scared of getting rough.
No. Yeah, that's gonna be good.
Phenomenal episode. If you don't like She-Hulk, if you haven't liked She-Hulk up until now, and you're about to comment going, "Oh, She-Hulk mid," just stop watching the show at this point.
Yeah, like
we're halfway through. If you're still not liking it, don't watch it. That's fine.
And if you are still watching it and you're saying you don't like it, I think you need to rethink because you clearly are liking it enough to watch it. So
yeah, I think you're just trying to be different potentially.
Yeah. Or just trying to get attention. Either or.
Maybe.
Onto the